Ryan Salazar here at the 2016 Broadcast Asia show with Charlie Vogt, CEO of Imagine. How are you, sir?
I'm doing good, thank you.
Thanks for being with us. So we're the official video partner. We've been running around like mad and barely got any sleep from all the flights. I'm sure you've been the same way. You guys are a very popular company. How has the show been for you?
You know what, I was just reporting back to some of the team that we've got to have a bigger presence at Broadcast Asia. I mean, there's some 35,000 attendees, and when you kind of think about NAB and IBC, I think this is the next largest show, and I think we've got to make sure that our presence is bigger as we move forward. So I think it's a very strategic and important show.
So how has the industry changed over the last 5 to 10 years or so, and how has it affected your business?
Well, I mean, look, the industry is certainly, stepping through the various, technology refreshes that, we tend to see. I think that what we're seeing right now is a major transformation that's occurring in the industry, and I think that's a necessary architectural shift, especially with some of the themes that we've been talking about, frankly, since I got here 3 years ago around IP being a leading indicator of where the domain architecture really needs to go to, and architecture is being defined more and more by software, and ultimately the ability for our traditional TV networks and broadcast customers to be able to virtualize some part or all of their network functions. So I think that is a must when you think about where tomorrow's broadcast capabilities need to go.
And the cloud is certainly, it's big on your list as well too, I'm sure.
Well, it is only from the standpoint that if you think about you and I, tomorrow being able to create content and how we would deliver that content, I think that ultimately our job as technology innovators is to ensure that our customers can be able to not only innovate, but be able to monetize and be able to respond quickly to the shifts and the moves that the market is certainly creating, and I think the only way that our customers are going to be in a position to better compete and better monetize their businesses is to flatten out the network. They got to move to a network architecture that creates a lot more elasticity, a lot more flexibility, a lot more agility, and long term that's IP. They've got to get to an environment which is much more software defined, and I think the cloud, whether it's a private cloud or a public cloud, is your friend, because you create the kind of scalability that you're going to need. I think the future holds a lot more channels than less channels. You and I want our own. I want my own channel. The CEO of HP wants her own channel, and when you start to move play out into a virtualized cloud environment, then you create those kind of opportunities.
And it's really exciting too, and it's scary for some folks how the IT and media worlds have started to collide, but they're merging together now, and it's changed the way you do business as well.
Well, yeah, one of the things that was top on my list when I got here 3 years ago was that we had to untether the software from proprietary hardware, because this notion that every 5, 6, 7 years, companies were completely, transitioning their entire network. They were taking out all of this amazing technology, not because the software wasn't capable of delivering the features and functionality they wanted, but because they had servers and storage and compute platforms that were outdated. And so one of the biggest, I think, accomplishments that we've achieved over the last couple of years was really untethering our hardware from the software. I don't think anybody in the industry has really done that other than Imagine, and that's going to give our customers a lot more flexibility and a lot more capabilities long term in just how they architect their network. We want to basically stay in that network forever, and we want customers to be able to leverage our software to continue to enhance that software like you would your CRM system.
Sure.
Think about the fact think about what it would be like if every 3 to 5 years companies were replacing their SAP or Oracle CRM. It just wouldn't happen.
It's huge, yeah.
And that's how people need to start thinking about play-out automation and networking architectures.
Okay, real quick, as far as computing goes, I know you guys recently had a huge announcement. It's been a little while since the HP announcement. Would you mind sharing that for audience members that may have not heard about that?
Yeah, I think there's two key, you mentioned IT, and I've been a big proponent that, look, we have to, you either have to completely disembark or engage and embrace what we know is coming. And if you believe in IP, and if you believe in software, and you believe in this new network architecture, then you've got to embrace the Ciscos and the HPs and the Microsofts of the world. And we've worked real hard to foster what we think is a very strategic partnership with HPE and Microsoft. Microsoft from an Azure perspective, we have more and more of our software solutions that are now available and deployable through Microsoft's cloud. And the HPE partnership is fantastic because you've got a market-leading company with delivering next generation IP server storage and compute platforms that we ultimately think is the way most of the industry will go long term. So that and what we've sponsored and really we were alongside of Grass Valley, we created AIMS, which was really designed to get all of the equipment suppliers on the same page as it relates to the way standards are going to be defined and developed and ultimately deployed. Is going fantastic, and the IT partners are certainly going to be a big part of that, and that in concert with everything else that we've got going on, we're pretty excited about the future.
Cool. All right, Charlie Vogt, again at the 2016 Broadcast Asia show. It's an honor chatting with you. We'll see you at another show, I'm sure.
Thank you very much.
Have a good one.
All right, you too.